Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. That's right, this is not a diecast review, this is not a custom diecast review, this is not a haul video, this is not a wave preview. This is something I have been asked to do. I could not tell you how long everybody's been asking me to do one of these videos. So I figured today is the day. It is currently 7:50 in the morning. It's my old background, and my car looks nothing like that now. But it's currently 7:50 a.m. I just woke up a couple hours ago, because, you know, my sleep schedule's screwed. Today we're going to be taking a look at how or more likely, I'm going to be showing you how Little Wrangler 3, makes these custom die-casts straight, like, right in front of your face. There's a lot of stuff that will not be cut out, a lot of stuff that will not be edited. Of course, like, to save time, I'll edit some stuff, that way it doesn't get boring. But remember back in the day, when I used to do the custom damage DIY diecast videos all the time? I did, like, what? I don't know, I think I did, like, 7 or 8 videos, which isn't a lot, but it was, like, an hour-long video each time. So, today we're going to be making yet another custom diecast review. Or, not a review, but it'll be a review eventually. We're going to make a custom for a review for the Bottom Bag Diecast eBay page. So, we're going to be taking a shot at a 2016 race to win from Bristol that Kevin Harvick won, and we're going to be seeing how we can do that. So, here's some of the things you're going to need, and some of the things I use personally for my projects. First things first, you are going to need some paint. So, the paint I have today is a gloss black Apple Barrel brand. These are all Apple Barrel brands except for one. A bright red. Then you're going to need a 2 blue. I picked these up at my Walmart. So, I mean, they're pretty local. You don't have to go anywhere to get them. Or you don't have to go like a Hobby Lobby or nothing. So, they're pretty basic to get. Folkfurt, I think that's how you say that. But this is a silver paint there. That's it for the paint. As far as right now, that's all we have. So here is the Gorilla Glue that I use. This is the white brand, or not brand, but this is, it foams up a little bit. It sticks to wood, stone, metal, ceramic, foam, glass, and more. So I use that for putting my cars back together. You will need a glue stick. Yeah, I know it's a little weird thrown in there, but you will need a glue stick. Just for a few things. Then, a little bit of paper towels, can't go wrong. Of course, for your paint to kind of dab it up on there. Now, I don't remember where I got these, but they're just these little containers. These are the containers I use. Now, the water is dirty, okay? So, don't, I do a lot of projects. So, we got this little container here. It does hold water, and it seals pretty well. So, I got, and again, some dirty water in there, but it's spilling everywhere. So, it's got, whatchamacallit? Actually, I'll just go ahead and, boom, simple. Got a little container for water. Then, we got a little container for paint. This is where all my paint's used. It's all in there. So, that's kind of what I use for my little paint, just to kind of keep it, separated. Let me kind of scoot this over a little bit there. You're going to need a pair of scissors. I use these little tiny detailing scissors. Nothing, crazy. And then you're going to need a paintbrush. I got a very small paintbrush, small bristles, not a lot. Then that. And then of course you're going to need your die cast, because you can't do any custom die cast without the die cast. Now, I have already drilled it out, so all you got to do, I don't remember what size I use, but you just drill out these little rivets here, and then it will come apart, and then you'll drill this little part there. That's where the steering wheel is, so you got to drill that out too, and then kind of leave the rest be, unless you're just stripping it apart completely, which I do not. So we're going to open our little phone here, our little other phone. Of course, I have 2 phones because they're just old hand-me-downs, something I really don't kind of use anymore. But while my phone is being prepared, I want to use these real quick. So, I have a little Discord server, not my main server. I have a couple others that are kind of dedicated to the diecast. So right here, as you can see, I've got like cup templates, truck templates, Xfinity, other, reset, whatever. So, let's see here. I gotta remember which one it is. Here we go. I got another, that's like my work in progress server. So we're going to go in here, and then we're going to go to Do I have reference pictures? Yeah, no, it's going to be up next. I got an up next tab. So we're going to scroll up. Here's a couple that I'm going to be working on. Just got a couple. Some of those are from Race Craze. Just got a couple projects going to be here soon. So those are just going to show those real quick. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. This is the reference pictures we need. You can see me in the background. So it's a pretty dirtied up car, which is, I mean, it fits my type of custom making very well because obviously I love dirtying up my race cars. And then we got one here. Then it just kind of shows that tire there because it wasn't on the reference picture. So we're going to be taking a look at those here in a little bit. So you may be wondering, well, you know, what are you making, or like, what do you need all this paint for? Stuff like that. So the paint for, or like, you don't have to do this, but this is what I do. The silver paint will be for like the roll cage, undercarriage for like the drive shaft and transmission. The blue and red will kind of go on the dashboard. The red will go to the fuel cell. So there's that. So the main thing we got to do first is obviously eliminate... Oh, I forgot one more thing. Hold on. Here's what I use for my window nets. It is not branded by any means. I just found it in Walmart by the... Oh, it's like you have to get it at the desk. Like they have to cut it for you. It's one of those materials. But this is what I use for my window net. So we're going to set that to the side for now. But I did just want to show you that real quick. So what we do not need, we don't need the glue for right now. We don't need the silver or the blue. We do not need the red. Do not need the glue stick. We do not need the scissors. Let's see. We don't need the water cup as of right now. So what we're going to start out with, got stuff on the thing there. We're going to start out with, of course, the die cast, the paint container, and then the brush and the gloss paint. So first things first, what we always start with, or at least what I always like to start with, is I like to start doing the actual car itself, like the shell. So we're going to take this off, and then this is all you have. So this is what we're looking at here. I do not do the window net until the very last detail. Other than putting it back together, the very last thing I do is putting on the window net, so that we will do that at the very end. What I always start with is I kind of just like, because normally I don't do it on two phones. I'll be doing it at my computer desk, so this is a weird setup for me right now. But I'll do it at my computer desk, and then I will like look up at my computer to look at the reference picture. So it's going to be a little harder with two phones, but normally we always start out with the front. So you can notice here, there's a little bit of paint chips. Oh, maybe you can see, there you go. So there's some paint chips there, but do not worry, with it being a race win, we don't got to worry about that. So that's not going to be a problem whatsoever. So we're going to take this little black bottle here. So actually move that down there. Open up the paint, obviously. And then we're going to shake it up a little bit. Okay, of course, you got to get the paint ready to be used. Also, another thing I kind of do, like last, normally I'll do the tires last and then the window net. So we're going to separate all of this. We'll put those in the background for now because we don't need those for now. We don't need any of that. So we're just going to focus on the car. Put the phone down here, and then of course we're going to, once again, use the black. So we're going to do it in this little corner right here. I know there's a lot of black in there, but we're just going to kind of put it on this corner here. Maybe just a little bit. That way we can kind of maybe have a little bit. There you go. There. Now we don't need a lot of black because we're not using a lot of black right now. We will later on whenever we do the undercarriage. So what we're going to do, first things first, is we're going to take a look at this reference picture here. This is the actual die cast that was produced in 124. So we're going to start off with the front end. So we're going to just, like as you can see there, it's super dirty. So we're going to take the front end, and we're going to do a little trick called dry brushing. Now, if you don't know what that is, fairly simple. All you got to do is just kind of take your paint, or take your brush, get it wet a little bit, kind of dip it in the paint, then just kind of dab it onto the little thingy there. I forgot what it's called. The, hello, any day, now, sometime, later, paper towel. Yeah, there we go. Now, again, front end, super dirty, so we're just going to kind of just do a little bit. That's a little too much. Gonna just kind of do this until it gets a little worn out. So I just want to start doing this. This is the dry, let's see if we can, zoom in. This is the dry brushing tactic. This is what a lot of people do to kind of like do their damage, or at least this is what I do. So we're just gonna kind of, you know, spread it around here. Again, it's going to be fairly heavy because it's got a lot of wear and tear on the front. Now, of course, you don't want to overload it by any means. I can't see where my paint is. Now, you don't want to overload it at all. So you just want to take a little bit here, just kind of put it on the thing, and then of course you can like touch up a little bit of spots here, like so that there. You can touch up there here at the bottom. You can kind of touch it up as well if you want to. That way it kind of covers it a little bit right here on the headlight. You can just kind of touch it up. Just make sure, you know, it looks more like race damage than just kind of a paint chip, because you don't want to have that. So we'll mark it out there. Of course, I'm still going to add a little more race wear to the front, because again, as you can tell, this thing was just absolutely just destroyed. So we're just going to do a bunch of this. Not a lot of stuff. Of course, you gotta do the other side. And there. That's how you kind of use, like, again, it was raced up really bad. So we're just going to do some stuff like that. So then we're going to continue to this side here. Now, the one thing I want to focus on when it comes to any of the side detail, first things first, we want to take a look at the top here. So the top, you can see there's not really a lot of like damage, but you can see right there around the back end, you can see it's kind of heavier on the back quarter panel and around that back wheel well. So what we're going to do in the beginning, or just to start out with, we're going to focus on that rear end. So we're going to take your die cast, take this here, a little bit of paint. We're just going to dab it a little bit. Then we're going to view where it was, and it was like back here. So just going to do that. Then that is a little bit of a lot, so just going to kind of scrape it off a little bit, maybe dab it onto the thing a little more, just kind of put it on there, you know, like kind of got a little wear. Now, for this, I always do this. You don't have to, but I always do a fuel streak, just for, you know, a little bit of more detail, just a little bit of fuel marking there. Not a lot. I feel like Bob Ross right now. Anyway, onto the back end. The back of the bumper here, there's a little more damage, so you just want to pat it on the thing back there, and then just kind of rub it up along the back end. That's all you want to do. Not really a whole lot. So now, for the rest of the car, there's not really a lot of like special detail. All you have to do is just make it look raced. So we're going to zoom out a little bit here. Going to take this like this, and then just going to do simple strokes along the side. So just going to kind of do a bunch of this. As you can see, it's kind of getting worn up a little bit. That's what we want. That is exactly what we want to see. We like seeing a bunch of that. That's good. That's great for the business, great for the family. You want to do that as much as you can. As you can see, it's getting a lot of raced up now. Oh, hit my camera. Then again, later on, we will actually start doing like some more of the detail. But as of right now, we're just trying to, you know, get some good stuff going on. Now on the front, towards this way, you kind of look like some vertical detailing here. So we're gonna get a little more, not a whole lot. Throw it back there. Just kind of do a little vertical, because that's kind of what they wanted. Or that's what I want anyway. Yeah, so there's the side. Now onto the back. It is Bristol, so I'm not going to be surprised if there's some little bit of dinking, a little bit of banking and sinking. Let's see, a bush. There's actually not a lot, but as of right now, see on the back end, there's not a lot. You can see a little bit of like race wear around the top. I mean, it's nothing really. So we're going to leave that alone for the most part. Maybe just kind of do a little bit there, and there, boom, we'll call it a day on that. Moving on to this side here, we're going to zoom out just a little bit more, and we're going to take a look at the race of wear damage on this side. So let's see, of course you have the exhaust panel down there at the bottom. So you can see you got just all this race wear. Now, some of that is very important. You do want to focus on more heavier streaks on this side. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So just take your paint. Now, of course, you want to flip through the reference picture a couple, you know, you want to reference back to the reference picture a couple times over. That way you know you're kind of doing the right thing. So back here, there's a little bit of a mark. So we're going to kind of paint that on. Not a big deal. Then, let's see, a little bit of a more mark here, and then a little bit of one, just kind of, let's see. I'm trying to focus too, it's kind of hard to do. Just gonna go down here. It's a little too much, just a little too much. Gonna just kind of spray it on here and kind of just easily go down the side. Of course, you want to get it all raced up and stuff. Then you want to do this little panel down here. Pretty simple. All you got to do is just make a little, it's so hard to do on camera, man. Got to do a little streak like down here. Then we're just going to kind of just cover it. And then if we don't get it super perfect later on, we can kind of fix it up. So yeah, it's going to be a little rough. Again, I'm going to try to get that going. I don't know if I can, but that's too rounded. Top, let's see. There we go. That's a little better. It was kind of a short, a short little brace, I guess you'd call it there. So there's a little more race wear down back here. Kind of missed somehow. Don't want to do it too much. And, I don't want that look either. It's definitely a lot of back and forth, like, oh, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that, and then you try to do this, and it's a lot of back and forth. I mean, it really is. It takes quite some time to kind of put in some of these work for these customs. So that looks to be all about for the damage, or like just the dirtiness of the car. So we're going to put this to the side for right now. We're not done just yet with that, but we're going to do it just later right now. Yeah, later right now. We're going to do that later and focus on something else right now is what I meant to say. Now, we don't really want to waste any time and switch color. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the bottom right here. So what's going to happen is we're going to get some more black paint going. And then I'm going to mark what I'm going to paint. And then I'll come back whenever I have that painted. So as of right here, we're going to paint, let's see, I'm going to paint this, I'm going to paint this down here, I'm going to paint these, and then we're going to paint this back axle, and then we're also going to paint these here, then we're going to paint these here as well. So I'm going to do that real quick, and whenever I get this done, I will come back. Alright, so here is the detail that I just did for the undercarriage. It's a little sloppy, but again, I'm not really used to this working area. So we're going to set that over here. So, next thing to do on the list is get your scissors, and you want to cut out the window net in the molding for this. So you're just going to take this off, kind of just set it to the side, or just kind of move it to the side. Then, of course, you want to just, plain and simple, cut out the window, and I'll show you how I do that. So, right between these two little sticks right here, just going to make a little cut. You're going to do it on this side. Then, you'll flip it this way. Then you're going to cut along the bottom of where that window net just kind of stops. Let's see. So, we'll just kind of, maybe not be a very good angle. One more. There we go. Boom. So, what that does is whenever you go to put the window net in, you will not be showing the other window net, and it looks like you have two window nets. So that's why I do that. Now, next thing's next. Going to need this little body thing here. Oh, this. We're going to need all the interior pieces. We're going to need this, that, and then this little thing down here. So, we are done with the black paint for now. We don't have to worry about that. I've already cleaned off my brush. We're good to go. Now, what we need is the silver paint. So I'm going to mix that up just real quick, and then we're going to pop that into this little container here. Now, this is kind of tedious, which is a little more tedious than that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the silver. Let's zoom in here. We're going to paint this wee little wire here, paint the shaft of the steering wheel, and then paint the little center part here. So I'm going to do that real quick. See if I can do it on camera. That's kind of the big part there. So first things first, I'm going to just paint. Oh no, focus. I'm going to paint this here. See if we can just do this. It's a little tedious. You gotta be careful. Then the center part of the steering wheel. There. Then this little wire on the side here. If it will focus, that'd be nice. Just gonna, let's see, throw it right there. So that's all we do. Might have to put a little more. That's all we do for this here. I'm gonna have to there you go. There. That's it. That's all we do for this part here for now. Now here we're going to do the bottom part. So we're going to take some more of that silver paint. Then we're going to put it onto the bottom here. We'll put it onto this, which is of course the transmission. We're going to just kind of paint that on here however we can. Try not to get it messy everywhere. Try not to, you know, be all slobby with it. But it's kind of hard to because this paint kind of runs. So we're going to just do our best to kind of paint this. Get this other edge here. Again, I know I'm kind of a little boring some parts, but it's the concentration that you're here for. Then do it on this side, and that should be all we have for right now. Then we got to do to the drive shaft down here. So get some more, and then just kind of set it on there. Let it go both sides. Just kind of let the brush do the work. And then boom, that's pretty much what you're working with for the bottom, so we don't need that anymore as of right now. Now here's kind of the tedious part that I hate the most. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some more paint. Got to be really, really careful. Going to go along this here. Just going to kind of do a bunch of that. And this isn't the hard part. The hard part's down here at this bottom. That's where you kind of want to be a little more cautious. So what we're going to do here, I will do this off camera. So we're going to see these bars. We're going to paint the bars silver. Then we'll paint this little gear shifter here silver as well. And then of course we're going to paint this side on the outside and on the inside. After that is done, I will come back and show you what it looks like. This is something that you should have, you know, similar to after you get it painted. So there's that. So we're done for the we're done for this piece. For this main piece here, the roll cage and the cockpit and stuff, we're done for that for now. So we don't need to worry about that. Now, we got to get the red paint because we're done with the silver paint. Got to get the red paint, and we have to do a little bit of work on, let's see, this piece here and then that piece over there. So there's only one more painting piece we need to do for this here. We need to paint the fuel cell, or the fuel tank, and that would be red. But on this, we got to paint one little thing here. Is this little thing in the back? Let's see if we can focus. Maybe. There we go. So this right here, this little thing that goes to the back here, this little, like, I don't know, corncob pipe looking thing, that's going to be red. And then these little two, like, almost hot dog looking things there, those are going to be blue. So yeah, we'll get out the blue in a minute, but as of right now, we're going to get the red ready and then paint the fuel tank thing back here. So let's go ahead and do that just real quick. Alright, so I went ahead and painted everything just to kind of be ahead of the game. So I got that there. I know there's a little bit on the back end. We can fix that. Got a little bit of a red spot there. I always do that too. Then on the, let's see, on the little dashboard piece here, you see the blue and the red. If you can focus, there you go. See the blue and the red there? That will dry up here in a little bit. So we are done with those interior, exterior pieces or whatever for the custom. They're all going to sit just right there for a second. And then now we're going to have to, I mean, I was going to say we can wait until it dries and then we can do the wheels and stuff. But I think what we're going to do next is we're going to just throw on a window net, and then we'll wait for everything to dry. Then we will do the wheels, because the wheels, I mean, I might do the wheels last. Like after I put everything back together, then I'll do the wheels. So we can do that. So we're going to take our cloth that we showed earlier. I don't want to get any paint on the cloth. So I'm just going to cut out this, I don't know, just a little piece here. You always want to cut a little more than you want. That way you can have enough material instead of not having enough material. If that makes any sense. Just this wee little tiny square. So how we actually apply this is, first things first, you got to make sure it matches the car. Matches the size, all that stuff. So, going to first touch up the square a little bit. Cut any excess that looks a little off. So then we're going to actually hold it up to the door just to see if it kind of fits well. See if we can. So we're going to like do this. That looks about accurate. So what we're going to do, set this down. We're going to get the glue stick. Glue stick is what we need. Just going to pop this open. Ooh, make sure you got enough on there. I'm going to extend it just a little bit. Then we're going to go on the inside here. And they're going to pretty much coat this as much as you can. So we're going to try to get a good angle. Just kind of do all that. Of course, it gets a sticky surface. That way you can just easily, let's see here, put that in there. Hopefully you guys can see. There you go. Put that in there. Kind of twist it a little bit. I know it's hard to see, I'm sorry. Just kind of push it down. Of course, you want to feed it up to the window as far as possible. That way you can have some more material. Then you want to push the mesh through. Maybe. There you are. Then that should come out on this side. Right there. Then what we're going to do is going to take this, rub it a little bit, and get a little bit of glue on there. And then plain and simple, fold it over. That's all you got to do. Now normally I use a thicker material, but I'm out of that material right now. It's the same material, but it's a little more well put together, I guess you could say. So just going to kind of maybe scrunch it up a little bit, see if I can make it look a little better. Maybe. No. Okay, we're going to have to re-glue that spot. We'll do it again, it's no big deal. Just re-glue it, make sure we got enough glue this time. Then put it back down. There we go. Now, that's how the window net is done. Now, normally I have a thicker or like more dense material. I guess it's the same material, but it's just, it's a different part of the material, I guess. So that's all we can really do right now. I know it's not the best window net, but that is normally what I do for my procedure as, getting the window net in there. So the window net's done. That's all we need to do right now. We need to just sit and play the waiting game until all of this is dry and ready to go. All the painting's done. All of the details done. So all we have to do is sit and play the waiting game, wait for that paint to dry. Then we're going to reassemble the car. I'll show you how to do that too. And then we'll go back to the reference pictures, go back to the black paint, and then we will actually do some of the tire wear on the car. So I will come back when the paint is dried and ready to be put back together. So now I believe we have enough settlement on the glue for it to stay in place. So what we're going to do is actually put this thing back together. So what we got to do first, take this. Of course, this is not dry still all the way. Got to be a little careful. See on the back that's still wet. I don't know why, but it is. So, we're going to flip this bad boy over, and then we're going to easily just kind of drop the wheels in there. And I know it's a little blurry sometimes, but I'm trying my best, okay? I can't really decide on, or I can't really tell the camera to be like, hey, focus on this or that, but So, also this, we're going to put this back together. What we're going to do is just kind of, I know it's out of frame. Not out of frame, but it's out of focus. All I got to do is press it back and put them into the holes, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal there. So just kind of set this on top, kind of reassemble it a little bit, maybe, and then of course you got to put the top back on. And then let's see here, just kind of throw it on there. And then that should be it. Got everything back together. Flip this bad boy upside down. Then we're going to get a pretty good little focus here. Gotta make sure it's going to set right though, because I don't want it to sit, have an offset thing. Might have to, yeah, it's kind of, see how it's like it's kind of bouncing back up. So what we might have to do is put something on top heavy enough to just kind of, I don't know, squish it down a little bit. I'll try to find something. I think I'm just going to set the glue on there. But we're just going to put the glue back in these little holes here. Just that way, of course, you know, it can kind of grasp everything it needs. So you don't want to put too much because it will show through the car, and you don't want to do that. Put this on the back here. Back's a little rough around the edges, so we're just going to try to get a decent amount thrown in there. There we go. And you can see it's really easy to come off. So I think I'm just going to use the, whatchamacallit here, I'm going to use the glue bottle to try, and, you know, emphasis on the try, to kind of set it back in a way to where we don't have to worry about, dang, let's see if we can we set it like that? There we go. Now, I'm just going to let it sit there and do its thing. I'm going to try to get a good time-lapse video. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I'm going to try to, I don't know, maybe see, because there's like, you can really see the glue like foam up. So I'm going to try to get a good shot of that, just kind of like a really quick, you know, sped up video. If it doesn't work out, then I won't add it in, but if it does, then I'll keep it in. You guys can kind of see the process of the glue bubbling up and rising to the top out of the bottom of the car. About 40 minutes later, we are reassembled. Now, that 19-second clip of the glue rising was about a 40-minute recording, 40-minute recording. So it does take a while to set, but trust me, it's worth it. Hopefully you guys kind of enjoyed that little speed up of the glue setting in. Now, that sounds boring on paper, but I like how it kind of like bubbles up, you know, and it just, I don't know, I think it looks kind of cool. But either way, we're almost done. We have a couple more things to do before we can officially call it a completed project. And of course, those are the wheels. So, we're going to go back to the black paint, just real quick. So, in this picture here, if we can zoom out a little bit, in this picture here, you can see that front tire is completely blacked out. So, we're going to turn it this way and completely black out that tire. So we're just going to take a little bit of this. Don't got to do a whole lot. Just kind of spread it around, make sure it gets covered. Maybe show a little bit through the paint. Just kind of have that more rubbed look. So there's that. And then for the rear tire, it looks just a little raced up. Just a little bit, not a whole lot. And then on the other two tires, on the other side, they're just a little raced up. So, I mean, it's not a lot. So how we do this, pretty simple. All you got to do is just take this here. Let me zoom in a little bit, that way you can kind of get a closer look. Just kind of take it just a little. My cat's going crazy. Anyway, just kind of mark a little bit here. Or what you can do is kind of black it out completely. Or like a little bit, and just kind of put your thumb or whatever and just kind of press on it. And it'll have that little bit of a race wear look. And I just rubbed off all the paint on that front tire. So now we got to redo that. So my bad. Of course, I just wasn't cautious. So we're just going to redo this tire once again because my stupid self kind of messed it up a little bit. And then, of course, for the other side, we're just going to do a little bit of this. Not a whole lot. Just kind of, you know, rub it up a little bit. Make sure it looks a little raced up. And again, you can use the whole tire. Just kind of press on it or leave or kind of remove some of that paint. And do it on the same on the back here. Again, some pretty simple stuff. I mean, it doesn't really take a lot to do these customs. You just gotta have to know your tips and tricks, and you gotta know what you're doing. So there's the race used tire. So there's one more final step that I do with my customs that, you know, not a lot of people do. I don't see very many people do this at all. And of course I can't do it on the Gen 7s, because if I do it on the Gen 7s, then it's not accurate. So I'll tell you what I mean here. This part is something I kind of left out of my supplies list. So, you know, sorry about that. It's just one thing. You get a little bit of a Sharpie marker. I get the Sharpie pen, the little fine point. And then we will go to this axle right here. We can focus and then just color it in. That's all you gotta do. Color it in. Make it look a little darker. And do that for all four. If we can get there. All four. This is literally the final, like the icing on the cake. This is the final thing we need to do. And then just like that, boom, you have officially and successfully made yourself a custom diecast. Now, this may be not really your category for the custom diecast you're wanting to do. Let me speak about that real quick. You may have came here for confetti. You may have came here for template applying. You may have came here for shredded tires, actual damaged, you know, parts and pieces. Don't worry. I will have those videos for you here very, very soon. I'm going to have a custom with confetti. I'm going to have a custom with damage. I'm going to have a custom with... what was the other one I said? Decals. I'll have a custom for decals also. So don't worry. If this was not really what you was looking forward to, or not really what you was looking for your customs, again, if you was looking for templates or confetti, damage, stuff like that, again, don't worry. Your time will be soon, I promise. There's also a video I plan to do on comparing Gen 6, like 2021 versus 2022, like the differences between the interior, difference between the car in general. I definitely plan on doing that one here very soon also. I'm going to try to get a couple more diecast reviews out of the way before I actually do that though. Then we'll have some more diecast related content, not just from reviewing the cars or, you know, taking a look at something, some new feature. We're actually going to dissect some of the cars, and then we're going to compare and contrast, you know, last year, this year. Gen 7 versus Gen 6, I will do a Elite version as well from 2021, from 2022 as well. Do I have a 2021 Elite? Ooh, I don't know if I do. Now that I think about it, I don't think I have a 2021 Elite. Ooh. Well, I'll get a 2020. Do I have a 2021? No. Yeah, I have a 2020 Elite. It's pretty much the same thing. Nothing changed from 2020 to 2021 in terms of Elite. So, I'll just kind of compare those. But anyway, if you were following along, doing some customs with me, or plan to do some customs, there you go. That is how I make a race win diecast. Of course, this one did not have any confetti, but if you want one with confetti, again, I will do that soon. Only difference is I'll do the same thing I did here, but it'll just have confetti on it. I mean, there's literally not a difference. So I hope you all enjoyed this very highly anticipated video, because again, I know a lot of people have been wanting me to do this. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So with that being said, that'll be all. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, I hope you all enjoyed. I really enjoyed kind of doing a step-by-step process with you all. So hopefully this helped out a lot. But anyway, I will see you in the next video.